Some. So Krishna Katha is like compared to a huge, endless sky. Yeah. How much can a tiny bird soar? Yeah, up to the sky. Yeah. How much can a small, a crow or a small parrot? How much can it measure the sky? It cannot. So the topics related to Lord Krishna. My voice is breaking. Is it so for everybody? Thanks for the pointer. Is nobody able to hear me properly? Little? What do we do? Is it clear now? It's good. Okay. For some of you, it is good. Okay. So I think it's some internet issues at your end. Yeah. So if it's really breaking and everybody is on the same page, let me know. Okay. We will do something. So I was saying the topics related to Lord Krishna are unlimited, infinite, just like the limitless sky. Yeah. And just like the, bottomless ocean, it's unlimited. And it is the eternal nature. Yeah. It is the eternal nature of every living entity, every Jivatma. And it's the eternal occupation of every Jivatma to always hear about Krishna. Yeah. So Krishna Katha is natural to the soul. So just like right now, we have many upadhis, many occupations as students, as daughters, or as sisters, or as friends, or as wives, and as an employee, we have taken up many occupations. Just like we have hat, different caps we put. Sometimes with the cap of a student. Sometimes we remove the cap, and sometimes we keep the cap of a daughter. So these are all upadhis. Yeah, these are all our different identities. That is born of being, in this material world. But there is an eternal identity, that is the soul, which is eternally the servant of Lord Krishna, eternally a devotee of Lord Krishna. And that eternal occupation, yeah, just like if you're a software employee, your occupation is some coding, right? Doing some coding. So similarly, as a Jivatma, the eternal occupation is to hear about Krishna and glorify Lord Krishna. That is why when you hear with sincerity about Krishna and his pastimes, about his name, form, pastimes, and his qualities, there is such a satiation, satisfaction to the soul. Yeah. Just like sometimes when you open your heart and speak to your most intimate friend, how satisfied you feel. It's just a small, it's like a vague comparison. So is it when you connect with your original source, that is Krishna. And how do you connect to Krishna? You connect through your ears. It is by hearing about him. So that is why we have just sung this song, Vibhavari Sesha Aloka Pravesha Nidra Chhadi Utto Jiva. Just give up your sleep. As conditioned souls, we are all asleep. Why are we asleep? Though we are, awake with wide open eyes. We are asleep because we are forgetful of our true relationship with Krishna. Yeah, just yesterday we have celebrated Janmashtami here, and many of you who are attending the session today might have attended the Janmashtami. Yeah. So Janmashtami means what? It's a birthday of the Lord. So, and somebody invites you, we all go to the temple, right? So let me ask you one question. What is your relationship with the Lord that you have gone to celebrate his birthday? You don't walk into anybody's birthday just like that, right? You walk into somebody's birthday or you attend somebody's birthday party if you have a relationship with them. So what is your relationship with Krishna that you all have come to attend his birthday party? Think about it. The question seems simple, but it's very difficult to answer. Yeah. So what is your relationship with God that you have come to attend his birthday? Means it's a very personal affair. Yeah, you've been invited and you all came. Why? It's because eternally that every jiva and the Supreme Lord, God, they share a connection, they share a relationship. He's the source, the origin. Yeah. Janmadasya yato itarataschatteshvabhigyasvarat tene brahma hridaya adikavaye mukyanti yat suraya. So, Janmadasya yato yatha. So, Janmadiyasya, that means that Lord Krishna is the supreme origin of everything. He's the supreme origin. That means he has no origin himself. Everything has originated from him. Yeah. And he is Abhigya and Swarat. This is the very first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. Abhigya, that means he's supremely cognizant. He knows everything. There is nothing that Krishna does not know. Yeah. From morning to evening, how many number of thoughts might have crossed your mind? We have we cannot keep a count of it. But Krishna knows every thought that has passed through your conscience. Every thought, even if you're not aware of it. And not just of yours, of every living entities. It is said that Lord Krishna hears the silent prayer of a small ant that is trying to look up to him on a pitch dark night on a black rock. Imagine a black ant on a black rock and on a Amavasya night. Who cares for its existence? Nobody. But Lord Krishna cares for the existence of even that. And he hears even that's, the cry of such an insignificant entity. Why? Because every living entity, no matter what body we have, whether we have a body of an ant, of an animal, of a human, of a demigod, of a Rakshasa, no matter what bodies we have. Yeah, intrinsically, we are all Jivatmas, the living soul, internally connected and related to the Supreme Lord Krishna in love and devotion. To the degree we have uncovered that true and original nature, we are succeeding in our life. Yeah. So this is about the tattva of the Lord. He is Abhigya, the supremely cognizant Lord, and Swarat, he's supremely independent. You and I are dependent every moment on so many people. It is said that morning, by the time you wake up and you actually have a plate of breakfast on your table, by then, that is, let me say by 8:30 a.m. in the morning, you have already depended on, 60% of the population for your existence. So imagine, this takes a bit of, meditation. Yeah, I woke up and then, the sun is shining. I'm dependent on the sunshine. I'm dependent on the oxygen that comes from the air. Yeah, I'm dependent on, like the bed that you're sleeping, it is made by some people, right? Although you might have given money to buy it. And then you brush your teeth. Somebody has made the toothpaste. Somebody has made the brush. And because of somebody's effort, the house has been constructed where you're staying. And because of somebody, the farmers are growing the food, it's on your plate. So much of interdependence. Yet we think ourselves we are independent. Yeah, this is the foolishness of the living entity. But on the other hand, the Lord is Swarat. He's supremely independent. He does not depend on anything on anyone, even for his own happiness. That is why another name of Lord Krishna is Atma Rama. Atma Rama is, for us, for our happiness, we are always dependent on others. But Krishna is self-sufficient in his happiness. He does not need another person to make him happy. These are the qualities of Krishna, the Supreme Lord. We all say God is great, but how great is God? This we need to inquire and try to understand. Why? Because we have a relationship with him. Because we are part and parcel of him. Mamai vamsha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manashashtani indriyani prakritim sthani karshati. Mamai vamsha jiva loke. Lord Krishna is telling in the Bhagavad Gita, the 15th chapter, that mama eva amsha. Each and every living entity is my amsha, my part and parcel, just like a drop in the ocean. Yeah. Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Mana Shashtani Indriyani. That means these living entities, having come to this material world, are struggling with 6 senses. We all know of 5 senses. What is the 6th sense? The 6th sense is the mind. Mana Shashtani Indriyani. Prakritim Sthani Karsha. Because of this Karshati, we say in a Karshaka Lokam. What is Karshati? Struggling. So because of this mind, this living entity, who are originally my own part and parcel, who are meant to be enjoying unlimited bliss in the spiritual world, have come to this material world because of rebellious nature, and they are struggling with the 6 senses, including the mind. This is Krishna's expression of his concern for all of us. That is why he spoke Gita for us. Yeah, my dear children, do not suffer. Extricate yourself from the sufferings and come back to your original eternal nature, which is full of bliss. Yeah, each and every living entity is Sat, Chit, and Ananda, eternal. That is, there is no death. Full of knowledge. There is no question of ignorance in our original nature. And Ananda. They are ever blissful. This is our original nature. Yeah. But due to ignorance, due to being covered over, because of illusion, we are living a life that is asat. Yeah. There is no, we're always struggling with the fear of impermanence. Yeah, we don't know how permanent this job is. We don't know what's next in our life. There is so much of insecurity that is experienced in relationships, or insecurity experienced in terms of one's career, in terms of one's very life. Yeah. Why? Because of the body that we have. The soul is Sat. It is eternal. But it's an incompatibility. See, like soul, which is eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss, is placed in this material world, and which is like an artificial situation for it, which is unnatural situation. That is why there's always bewilderment. So then what is the way out? What is the way out? The only way out is by reconnecting to that source from which we all have originated. And who is that source? Lord Krishna is the source. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. So Krishna is Ishvara, the supreme controller. Parama Ishvara. It's not just a small controller, is it? Parama Ishvara, supreme controller. Sachidananda Vigraha. That is, we are all Sachidananda. Small, just give me a moment. Yeah. Anadiradir Govinda. So there is no Adi. He has himself no origin. Adir, that is, he himself is the origin. And Sarva Karana Karanam, he is the cause of all causes. So this is very important to understand. We should know our origin. Whenever we know our origin, and when we connect to our source, yeah, we experience a lot of satiation, satisfaction, a security. Yeah, just like a child finds a lot of satisfaction when it runs back to the womb of to the lap of its mother. How satisfied a child is. Why? Because for the child, the mother is the origin. Yeah. So is it, for every living entity when it's connected back to Lord Krishna. So it is said that the love of Krishna is equivalent or more than the love of 1,000,000 mothers. Yeah, for all of us who want to understand what is the nature of Krishna's love, how much we love our mother. Yeah, that's the greatest love we experience in this material world, right? The amount of love we have for our mom. And it is said, it is stated in the chapter, Canto 4 of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. It said that the love of Krishna is equivalent to more than the love of 1,000,000 mothers. So we can only begin to understand what is that intensity. Yeah. So in this auspicious occasion is Janmashtami. What is Janmashtami? Janmashtami is the advent of Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna, who is the ocean of love, Prema Sagara. Yeah. And he's also called the Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu. He's the ocean of all the rasas. So he descends once in a day of Brahma. Once in a day of Brahma. So Brahma's time is like, what is one day of Brahma? I mean, some of us who have attended my previous sessions understand what is one day of Brahma. So right now we are in Kali Yuga. There are 4 cycles, 4 yugas. Kali, Dwapara, Treta and Satya. These 4 yugas make one cycle. Yeah, and 71 such cycles, is equal to 1 day of Brahma. Yeah. So there's a very huge calculation. Actually, what is 1 day of Brahma? It's really, really huge, huge span. It's not even 1 yuga cycles. It's many, many yuga cycles put together. And it's not that every Kali Yuga, every Dwapar Yuga Krishna descends. No. We all say now in quiz, which Yuga Lord Krishna descends? Dwapar Yuga. But it's not that every Dwapar Yuga Krishna descends. We are actually right now situated in the Kali Yuga, which has just come after the Dwapar Yuga, during which Krishna has descended. So we are very fortunate in a way. Yeah. So once in a day of Lord Brahma, Krishna descends. So why does Krishna descend? So we all know our answer: Paritranaya sadhuna, vinashaya cha dushkritam, dharma samsthapanarthaya, sambhavami yadev. So to annihilate the miscreants. So we all know that before Krishna has descended, there was such a very terrible situation on this earth. Yeah, Kamsa has been performing very, very ghastly acts of killing Brahmanas, of demolishing Vedic culture, of threatening people, of doing everything that is adharmic. Yeah. So that was Kamsa. Even if you see Duryodhana hasn't come by that time. Krishna has descended. Yeah, Duryodhana has also come. So Duryodhana, because Krishna is of the equal age of Arjuna, right? So Yudhishthir Maharaj is much elder to Lord Krishna. So Duryodhana has appeared just around the time of Bhima's appearance. So Bhima is also elder to Krishna. So by the time Krishna has descended, Duryodhana has already come. And who is Duryodhana? Duryodhana, he is not a sinful person. He is sin himself. It is said Duryodhana is called Papa Purush. The entire sins, if they have a form, that form is Duryodhana. So such are the people who are existing before Krishna's descent on this earth. Very, very dangerous, demoniac people. Yeah. Demons like Jarasandha, demons like Shishatavakra, the whole earth is infested with demons like this. So Lord Krishna has descended to free the earth of this burden. So Mother Earth, feeling the burden of all these Rakshasas, she approaches Lord Brahma, clients. Yeah, please help me. So that is when Lord Brahma takes Bhumi Devi, and with all the demigods, they go to the ocean of milk, Kshasagar, and recite the beautiful Sukta prayers, appealing to the Lord to help them, to save them. Yeah, this is what is Sura, demigod mentality. Demigod mentality is whenever they are in danger, they take the shelter of Lord Krishna. Sura Pravritti. What is Asura Pravritti? They tend to handle things on their own and in the process destroy themselves. Yeah. So they take shelter of Krishna, they go to the banks of the Kshasagar, the milk ocean, where the Lord, as Kshirodakshai Vishnu, is sleeping on the serpentine bed. There they go and recite the beautiful, beautiful Purusha Sukta prayers. Om Tacham Yora Vrinemahe Ghatum Yagyaya Ghatum Yagyapataye Daini Swasti Rastunaha Swastir Manushi Utham Chikatu Veshajam Tanno. So there's a very beautiful Purusha Sukta prayers. Very, very nice meter. If somebody likes music, they can learn this. So they go and recite this Purusha Sukta, and the Lord hears from his serpentine bed his wonderful prayers that are offered to him. And as he was hearing, he then becomes pleased. He understands this. He becomes pleased and he gives a message to Lord Brahma. He doesn't appear. He gives a message to the heart of Lord Brahma that soon he's going to descend in his original form as Lord Krishna in Vrindavan. So he tells and instructs all the demigods to go and take birth at different places as different to associate with him during his pastimes. So all the demigods being very, very happy with the message, they all, descend in this material world as the children of the Brajvasis and the people around Mathuravasis and all of them there. Because, to have the darshan of Lord Krishna itself is something, a very, very, the greatest event of one's life's journey, entire journey. So they have come to so the demigod, when they heard of this, immediately they took birth in different families in the material world just to get the association of the Lord, a glimpse of the Lord. So after that, so we all know about how Kamsa, although he was such a maniac, such a big villain, he had a very loving disposition towards his sister Devaki. So we all know the story, how he personally performed the marriage of Devaki with Vasudeva. And after the marriage on the chariot, he took her, personally riding her on the chariot. And then after a while, as he was riding the chariot, just as a show of an affection, as a brother, he took such a position of riding the chariot. These days, I don't think any brothers do like that for their sister. Yeah. The sister is getting married and going. Will any brother come and say, let me be your driver to drive you and your husband to your next destination? Hardly, I don't think. So, but here is Kamsa, such an affectionate brother. Though he was a king of Mathura, and everybody feared him. He was a monarch. But still, for his sister, out of affection for his sister, he became her charioteer. And he took her for a distance. And as they were traveling, he heard a Akashavani. So the Akashavani said, Kamsa, you're a fool. Why you're a fool? You're carrying your own death. You're riding her. The Ashtama Garbha, the 8th son of Devaki, will be the cause of your death. And that proclamation came and it left. So when the proclamation has come, Kamsa immediately gets alerted. he gets off the chariot. Until then, he was a chariot driver. Yeah. After that, he gets off the chariot. So this is demoniac nature. Demoniac nature is until the time somebody is, you're feeling the affection for someone, you give out love like anything. Greeting cards or chocolates, or do them any favors, make them nice food or pamper them. Yeah. But the moment that very same person is interfering with your own happiness, that person becomes your enemy. This is demoniac mentality. Yeah. Until then, for Kamsa, Devaki is an object of affection, his dear sister who's so loving. So I'll do anything for her. But now I got a news that her son is going to kill me. That means she's not going to give me happiness. She's a threat for my happiness. So she's my enemy and I have to destroy her. So this is exactly how demoniac mentality works. The center is one's own happiness. Whatever makes one happy, one can do anything for it. The moment one finds a threat to one's own happiness, again, one can do anything for it. So Kamsa gets off the chariot and he pulls Devaki out of the chariot. And he tries to behead her with his sword. So at that time, Vasudeva comes into the picture and, with his very logical arguments. And because of him having a Satya Pravritti, that means he's by nature very, very truthful, so truthful that even Kamsa trusted him. He said, he promises, the threat is with the 8th son. So I promise you that every son that is born to us, I will give you, and you can do anything you want. So Kamsa, trusting that, he actually lets them go by actually imprisoning them in his own kingdom. Right. So this is the nature of a devotee. A devotee is so truthful, so honest that even an enemy believes. Yeah. Then Kamsa believed Vasudeva. And that's how, after that, he imprisons Kamsa Vasudeva and Devaki. And after that, what Vasudeva and Devaki have gone through is such a intense trauma. Yeah. To see one child die, for a mother, it's such a pain, such a great pain. Even sometimes a woman has a miscarriage, let's say in the 2nd or 3rd month, even that is such an emotional trauma. But for Devaki, to see 6 of her sons being brutally murdered, in the hands of Kamsa, such a great trauma it is. Such a trauma. So some people question that, why do they have to take, give birth again? Some people ask this question. When Kamsa knew that the 8th son is going to kill him, why did he put Vasudeva and Devaki in the same prison house? This is a stupid question some people get. Yeah. So in this way, each of the 6 sons that are born of Devaki and who were killed, each time this has happened, it was preparing their heart more and more to receive Lord Krishna, to surrender more and more to the grace of the Lord. So Krishna doesn't appear just like that. Yeah. The 6 sons actually represent the 6 anarthas in us. The 6 anarthas is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha, and Matsalya. The 6 anarthas. Only when these 6 anarthas are destroyed in our heart, only then Krishna will appear. And Krishna is 8th. But who is 7th? 7th is Balarama. Who is Balarama? Balarama is Guru Tattva. Yeah. So this is the secret of Janmashtami. What is Janmashtami? Janmashtami is the appearance of Krishna. Appearance of Krishna, yes, it happened 5,000 years ago in Mathura. Today that place is still existing. But appearance of Krishna actually has to happen in the heart. Janmashtami is to be celebrated within the heart. Yeah. And how does this celebration happen? And how does this appearance actually happen? So here is a pastime which is telling us what makes Krishna appear in your heart. Yeah. The the 6 sons of Devaki have been brutally murdered and killed by Kamsa. And here is Vasudeva and Devaki. They are emblems of pure devotional service. They, despite the trauma they've been through, knowing that Kamsa is going to kill the next child, still they have went on, thinking it their offering of love and devotion to the Lord, because it has been proclaimed that it's the 8th son who is going to deliver the whole world. Yeah. So as a service, despite the discomfort they have gone through, they have, they waited until the 8th son is born. So after the 6 children are killed, the 7th was, Balaram. And, at that time, during Balaram, we had a very long discussion about the appearance, the auspicious appearance of Balaram. So at that time, Yogamaya actually transfers the womb from the womb of Devaki. The fetus is transferred to the womb of Rohini. Rohini is another wife of Vasudeva. So that's Balaramji, and he represents Guru Tattva. So in our heart, after this, all the 6 anarthas are removed, then the Guru, the spiritual master, enlightens one's heart. Yeah. Without the mercy of Guru, one cannot access the grace of Lord Krishna. And then after that, one beautiful night, from the heart of Vasudeva, he transfers into the heart of Devaki. Yeah, this is a very, very special kind of union. Yeah. So from the heart, from the chitta, it is said, from the mind of Vasudeva, he transfers, in his consciousness, the seed of birth of Lord Krishna into Devaki's heart. So that's when Devaki becomes, she becomes a pregnant. And when she becomes a pregnant, now the whole Karagar, that is the whole jail, prison house, becomes lit up with a very, effulgent blue light all over. So, she used to worry so much. Devaki used to worry so much. Oh, this Kamsa, he has already killed 6 of my sons, and he's going to kill this person also. And she feels that, why not this light just hide itself? So in this way, she's going through a lot of anxiety. So when she was going through this lot of anxiety, all the demigods actually come. Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, all these demigods, they come and they offer prayers. These are called the Garbhastuti prayers. We can actually offer these prayers actually after this session. Yeah, Satyasya Satyam Rita Satyam Evata. It's a very, very beautiful section of prayers. And they say, oh my dear Devaki, do not worry, do not fear. Yeah, the Lord is going to come, and be rest assured, nobody can do any harm to him. He is the Supreme Personality of God himself. Yeah. And from him, everything he's the cause of all causes. Yeah. He will not only save himself, he will save the whole world. So there is nothing for you to worry. So in this way, all the demigods come, they offer the Garbhastuti prayers, and they give this assurance to Devaki. And they leave. So after which, on this beautiful day of the Ashtami Tithi, on the nakshatra of Rohini constellation, and at that time there was all beautiful, very auspicious constellation. During that time, Lord Krishna, Bhagavatam actually gives a very, very beautiful description of the atmosphere in which actually Lord Krishna's birth takes place. There was all auspiciousness all of a sudden on the entire earth. There were very beautiful breezes, very fine breezes that were blowing. Yeah. And there were all the heavenly Apsaras and Gandharvas, they were nicely playing their musical instruments, announcing the advent of the Lord. So the entire cosmos has become so surcharged with auspicious signs, marking the advent of Lord Krishna. So it's in a mood of great celebration. So it was during that time, at 12 o'clock in the midnight, that the Lord has appeared from the womb of Mother Devaki. As I said, under the constellation of the Rohini Nakshatra. So some of us are thinking why Janmashtami is celebrated 2 days, yesterday or today, why some are celebrating yesterday and why some are celebrating today. It's because of the Rohini Nakshatra. It has started from yesterday evening and it is there till today afternoon. So it's like, there is some astronomical reasons why Janmashtami falls on 2 days. Some other time I'll explain. So it requires a lot of explanation. So it was at that time Krishna has appeared in his four-handed form. And he's born as a small baby, and immediately from the baby, the four-handed form has appeared with Shankha, Chakra, Gada, and Padma. And as soon as he was born, Devaki was struck with wonder, and Vasudev, they were all struck with wonder. And Vasudev, in the heart of his heart, he was a king and he had so many resources. But he was in such a helpless condition in the prison house. But the moment he saw the birth of his son, his beautiful son, in his mind, he gave immense charity of millions of cows to the Brahmanas, and he gave immense, unlimited charity, celebrating the birth of his amazing son. So after that, the Lord appeared in his four-handed form and he said, "Fear not, my dear parents." And he tells them about their previous births. In the past, you were Prishni and Sutapa, who have actually performed great austerities and begged for a son. And he said, "Beg for a son like me." And I said, "Tathastu" thrice. And there is nobody like me in this whole universe. So I am myself your son. So in this way, and then he tells Vasudev what to do. Now, leave me in Vrindavan at this point of time. So saying that, the Lord again comes back to his beautiful baby form. So, and Mother Devaki immediately feeds him some milk, and then the Lord, Vasudev carries him in a basket, and he takes the basket. So, it's Krishna Katha is so beautiful. It's the same thing we've been hearing from so long, but still, when you hear again, it sounds so fresh. There's a beautiful verse in Bhagavatam saying, "Brahman Krishna Katha Punyan Madhvi Lokamalapaha Punatripyeta Shinvanaha Shutanyo Nityanutanam." So this Krishna Katha, it gives punya. It is madhri, that means it's very, very sweet. And loka malapaha, that means it removes all the mala of this material world. All the inauspiciousness of this world can be eradicated simply by hearing Krishna Katha. And it is so juicy and so nectarine. And kona tripyeta shrinvanaha, that means how much ever you hear, you're never satisfied. Shrutagno nitya nutanaha, that means how many ever times you hear it, if you hear with the right consciousness, it appears nitya nutana. Every time you hear, it's new, it's ever fresh. So I've heard the same pastime of Krishna's appearance so many times, and I've spoken about it so many times. But today, when I'm speaking to you, it still appears fresh. So that's the difference between material and spiritual subject matters, especially anything related to Krishna. So Vasudev then, takes Krishna in his basket, and as he just starts off, Here, Vasudeva actually represents complete surrender and faith in Krishna. He didn't think twice. He's telling me to leave him in Vrindavan. How would I even go? The prison house is locked, and here is Kamsa's servants. They're not going to let me go. He didn't think anything. He just put him in his basket. He just walked straight. And on their own, all the shackles have broken. On their own, the gates have opened wide. On their own, Kamsa's servants have all fallen asleep. So this is what actually is the fate of demons. Yeah, when Krishna descends, the devotees surrender and do whatever is instructed to them. But the demons, they fall asleep. They go into Tamoguna. So the unfortunate situation of the Kamsa's servants is the Lord has appeared, but they have fallen asleep by the Yoga Maya of Lord Krishna. So Kamsa, taking Krishna in his basket, he actually goes out, and at that time, it starts raining. It starts raining profusely. And Acharyas actually give many reasons why it has started raining at that time. It was 12 in the midnight. So one of the reasons is, I think I've explained this in one of my sessions, but I'll just recall some few. And so Krishna has descended, and Kamsa was waiting to kill the 8th child. So the news should not be spread anywhere. So that is why, to block anybody from coming out of their house, there was a huge rain. Yeah. And another reason why there was a rain is because Krishna is Shyam Sundar, yeah, Neela Megha Shyama. He is of the complexion of dark rain clouds. So the clouds, celebrating that similarity in appearance, they have rain, they have profusely given forth, in the form, given forth their own devotion in form of rains. So in this way, there are like different reasons why it has rained at the time when Krishna was taken in the basket. So, and as Vasudeva has taken Lord Krishna in the basket, Yamuna, Mother Yamuna was in her full upstream. Yeah. She was outflowing, in fact. It was very difficult to contain her. She was very violent, in the kind of waves that were coming out of her. So, but Vasudeva, undeterred, he just carried the basket and he walked into river Yamuna without thinking twice. Yeah, this is again one of the hallmark of a devotee. A hallmark of devotee is he surrendered. Whenever obstacles come, he doesn't step back. He doesn't take a back step. Yeah, they just enter into it without thinking twice. This is the instruction of my dear Lord, so let me go. So in this way, Vasudeva entered into the waters of Yamuna. And as he walked in, he was going deeper and deeper and deeper. And the water came up to his nose. That means a little more and he would drown. So this is how devotees are also tested. Yeah, devotees are tested till the hilt. Especially Krishna's devotees are tested to the hilt. Yeah. So at the time when he was almost, the water came to his nose deep, he would have taken a back turn, but Vasudeva did not. He was walking ahead and ahead. So that was when Yamuna Nadi has given her way. But why Yamuna Nadi gave her way at that time? So when the other explanation for this is Vasudeva was carrying, on one side, it's a test of Vasudeva's surrender. On the other side, Krishna was reciprocating with Yamuna Devi. So Yamuna Devi was so violent, so turbulent, and so restless because she wants to touch Krishna. So when Vasudeva was carrying Krishna in the basket, his lotus feet just came outside the basket. He put his lotus feet outside the basket. And, she was so eager to touch. And when Vasudeva went deep into the water, and Mother Yamuna could get a touch of the lotus feet of Krishna. So that's when she gave the way. She gave the way. So Krishna is so expert that in one shot, he actually handles many things. So on one side, he's having this rasa with Vasudeva as to how he's testing his surrender. On the other hand, he was having this flavor of exchange with Yamuna, where he was, reciprocating with her devotion by allowing her to touch his lotus feet. And on the other side is Sesha, when actually Vasudeva was carrying Krishna and there was a huge rain outpour. Sesha, that is Ananta Sesha, has come and has spread his hoods around Krishna like an umbrella. So, Krishna is simultaneously reciprocating with so many people and the clouds, which I have just explained. So this is Krishna. He is, he's a reservoir of all rasas. And his actual reason for descent is not actually to annihilate people like Kamsa. Kamsa is just an arbhaka. And all these demons are, Krishna with his mere sankalpa, he can vanquish them. He need not come personally. The reason why he came is to actually reciprocate with the love of all these devotees. With Vasudeva, Devaki, Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, and all the Gopas, the Gopis. So that's like the moment he descended, he went to Vrindavan, because Vrindavan is where all his devotees are. Yeah, all his pure-hearted devotees are waiting. So that is how, Vasudeva's surrender was tested. And eventually Vasudeva reached the banks of, the other bank of Yamuna. And there's a beautiful place called Brahmanda Ghat. It's still existing in Vrindavan. It's a place in Gokula Mahavan. In Gokul Mahavan, there's a place called Brahmanda Ghat. And that's where Mother Yashoda and Yananda Maharaj were staying. And Vasudeva takes the baby Krishna and he puts her beside Yashoda Mai. And beside Yashoda Mai was Yogamaya. And he takes her and he goes back to the prison house. So the next day, when Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya was so asleep, because it is said that she was so tired of the labor pains that she had that she didn't even know when she delivered the baby. She fell asleep. So she was not aware when Krishna was put beside her. And the moment she woke up, she saw a beautiful little baby Krishna right beside her. And so the information, the nurse of Yashoda Maya passes the information to Nanda Baba. You have a boy. You have a baby boy. And the next day is beautiful Nandotsava, which we're going to celebrate tomorrow. Yeah, Nandotsava, and Nanda Baba invites all the Brahmanas, all the Brajvasis, and there's an amazing celebration. There's Abhishek of the Lord, and he gives away so much in charity. And all the Brajvasis, they all were so fond of Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya. They come from different places and they start playing Holi. Holi with what? Not with colors, with butter and yogurt. And this is the opulence of Vrindavan. Yeah, the real opulence is in the natural gifts. It is not in buildings and cars and sophisticated machinery. Real opulence is where natural resources are bountiful. So Vrindavan is an example of that super opulence, where all natural resources like the fruits, the flowers, the cows, the milk, they're all in its superlative degree. So this is how all the Brajvasis have celebrated the advent of Lord Krishna. It's called Nandotsava. So we will, the Nandotsava is celebrated tomorrow. So in this auspicious day of Janmashtami, I pray that we all invest our time into meditating about the name, form, qualities of the Lord by either chanting the japa or by hearing Krishna Katha or by making some nice offerings like our Srinija just made today. She made some wonderful rasgullas, pulihora, payasam, and so many preparations she made for the pleasure of the Lord. We put nice tulsi and offered. Yeah. So any offering to the Lord that you can make is very, very amazing. And some of you have participated in Haritoshanam, where you invested your consciousness in making a beautiful offering for the Lord. Any small endeavor you do in trying to connect with Krishna is, you cannot imagine what is the value of it. What is the worth of it? So whatever few more hours are left for the Lord to appear, let us meditate on this beautiful, auspicious katha, the Leela. It's the appearance of the 6 suns, and the 6 suns which represent the 6 anarthas in our heart, and how we overcome them. And the Guru comes and prepares our consciousness to actually receive Krishna. So this is the advent of Lord Krishna, and how it, and if we can make, Srila Prabhupada says that our life is like a tree bark, and if we can carve Krishna out of it, it is the success of our life. So if we can make Krishna appear in our heart, we have attained the perfection of our very existence. So with this, I will end my session. I wish you a very, very happy Janmashtami, and may the blessings of Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, come alive in your life. And may you all take up to Krishna consciousness. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comment? Thank you all for joining. Very nice. I think some of you are coming for the first time. Pratibha, after a long time, yes. Hari Bol. Hari Bol Prayasi. Yes, Madhishri, Kavya, Jyotsna, Sri Chandana. Sri Chandana is from here, township, na?
Yes, Mataji.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, very nice. Very nice that you're attended. Yeah, it's easier to attend the online sessions. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, thank you, Mahalakshmi. Thank you all. Thank you, Yogita. Hari Bol, Yogita. Thank you all so much for attending.
Thanks, Mataji.
Yeah.
It was a bliss to listen your lecture on Janmashtami.
Hare Krishna. It's really my pleasure to share.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.